Our borders and our laws are a mess.
Across the country, stepped-up immigration raids to remove people in the U.S. illegally, left behind, communities dealing with the fallout, families without breadwinners.
No compassion. There's no compassion in this one.
An operation in northern Kentucky last December resulted in 22 people being detained, including Edgar Perez Ramirez. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents were looking for another man in his apartment building.
Right here is where ICE parked, and my car was parked there.
President Donald Trump frequently talks about deporting gang members and criminals, but more than 26,000 of the 80,000 people ICE arrested from October to March of this year had no criminal convictions.
And so what this really has done is basically unshackle ICE and allow them to go after anyone they might run across.
The Trump administration's increasing crackdown of immigrants based on legal status has found support in this conservative state.
If you come in the wrong way and bad things happen, I don't think you can expect a different outcome.
But the Kentucky raid shows the lingering effects on a community. Volunteer groups and churches distributed grocery money for families for weeks.
Gracias.
Now, we don't know what's going to happen in the future because, we're still dealing with 4 or 5 families that really don't have the person who's a breadwinner.
Rick Vaughn says his warehouse lost about 30 workers after one arrest and has taken months to get back on track.
Many of them, through the temp agencies, full-time, were legal, but they know that they can be arrested anyway, so they, what we call self-terminated, they never return to work.
The raid prompted local business owner Jeff Richardson to get involved for the first time with the immigrant community. He helped pay the bonds for several of those detained.
It's bothering me that people are sitting in jail who have been granted bond.
Social worker Carrie McHugh says kids and their families are still fearful of what could happen next.
Other kids that weren't directly affected were hearing about it and were nervous and were asking questions about it to their teachers or talking to their teachers about it.
Thomas Homan, ICE's acting director until his recent retirement, said tougher enforcement was necessary for public safety.
And if we don't execute those orders, if those orders don't mean anything, there's absolutely no integrity in the entire system. You might as well just open the borders and let everybody in.
Perez spent 6 weeks in jail before he was freed on bond. He's now fighting his deportation. Meanwhile, his 4-year-old son Franco has been acting out and getting upset whenever his father leaves his sight.
My family and I live with the fear that if we leave the house, they'll grab us again.
One of the many impacts from one operation reaching far beyond those initially targeted. Noreen Nasser, The Associated Press.